Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Welcome in, Wraithboard, how you doing? That's a real song? I'm gonna have to look that up afterwards. Alright, I'll look it up and listen to it after. We'll see if we add it to the playlist. What's going on, guys? Doing okay-ish? Alright. What are you up to? You gonna be hobbying a bit, or you at work? What's going on? Okay. So we got our washes on these minis. Now it's time to highlight. Just came home from work. Nice. This guy's a little loose on here, so we'll just have to be careful with that. But it is time for me to start highlights on here. Into your Conquest army, sweet. Which army you got in Conquest? I looked at Conquest and couldn't really find something that really caught me, so I never really got into it. But Spires, okay. It's like one of the evil factions, isn't it? Yeah, these are pre-Heresy Thousand Suns. Yep. Hey, my draw, what's going on? Okay, we are taking a bit of bright neutral gray. We're going to do the white first on these. I'll eventually get out the bold titanium white, but we're going to start with some simple things. Old Dominion and the Spires. Okay. I liked the city-states faction, the kind of Greek city-states or whatever, with all the robot hoplites. I thought those look pretty cool. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's going well. Can't complain. Nice and careful. This initial bright neutral gray. Really take to custom paint jobs. That's cool. Yeah. Try to avoid the script engraved in here. See if I can't salvage it a bit. Very thin coats here. Here's a whip of my abomination. Oh, cool, yeah. That looks really good. I like a lot of dry brushing over like contrast. Like I like the like kind of desaturated dry brush over the really like highly saturated colors. That's a really good look. I think they look great, man. Don't compare your minis to mine. Just speed paints? Nice. You all have a lot to paint. I get it. Okay. Initial coat on that guy. Let's get the next one. Yeah, there's no judgment here. You paint how you paint. So if I will, yeah. We are our own worst critic, right? Unless you're a narcissist, then you could probably benefit being a little more critical of yourself, but. My own stuff, I very much paint to game. That's like all my motivation. Like if I have a mini that won't be used in the game, then I'd have a very hard time painting it. So far, I'll check it out here in a few minutes. Get the white on this Terminator, and I'm gonna go through. I actually did a little more work than I was planning last night on my own, but I was doing a bit on the weapons and the base. So I have weapon casings that I can start my highlights on because I did base colors and washes on the weapons. The plasma weapons are really simple as far as base colors go. So that's nice. It was literally just putting one color on, putting a wash on them. So I'll get there. Butterscorch. Oh, you're Skitari. Nice. Raja, good morning. Well, sorry. I put my mini upside down a lot when I paint. That's just how I paint, and but I appreciate you reminding me. You assembled them all yet, Butterscorch? No, just start. What are you doing in here then? Stop chatting. Get assembling. Those Qatari minis have really grown on me, though. I think they look awesome. Jaded, welcome. Welcome in. Just a well-painted foot. Okay, alright. I'm going to go through with a smaller brush and get the crests on these minis. There's two down with those colors. Oh, the only thing in camera. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the bear looks really cool. Yeah, Wraith. No, that's a great looking mini. Really good looking mini. Tavern, good morning. How are you doing? Work their data on. That's cool. Start in less than 2 hours? Curling? Oh, okay, okay. I didn't realize they were starting already. I'm doing really well, Jaded Valkyrie. I am sore, but it's good sore. So that's where I am. But it's been a good week. Getting things done. Yeah, the gym went well. Yeah, yep. It's good. It's good morning. Crest here. This is highlight number 1. I think we'll do 2 more with smaller brushes, but we gotta get these spaces in between here, so we're gonna get a smaller brush, and we'll end up grabbing these plasma bombards as well. We'll all come together here eventually. I don't know how close we're going to get to finishing, but I feel like we're going to get pretty close today. We got so much done yesterday, and then the fact I was able to get the washes on last night was a really big deal. Okay, Skitari, what is this? Enforce at a digitigrade legs or peak characters. Yeah, okay, okay. Let's get this guy. Alright, now let's move over to these plasma bombards. Just do this all in one step. This is the progress in the base I've made. It looks like garbage, right? It's going to end up looking a lot like this before any weathering powder. And the weathering powder kind of brings it all together to where it ends up looking like that. Just dusty, weathered ruins. But it all, you know. So that's the wash on it. That was the part that takes a long time to dry. I got the wash on everything that needed it. So, like, we're good to go. There's probably not going to be any downtime of just twiddling our thumbs and looking at paint to dry. And this is just kind of re-establishing our base color here. This white on top of the silver, it's kind of hard to see, honestly. I think once it's highlighted and then we get all the other colors kind of move in, like the plasma glow and everything, I think it's really going to stand out. And it'll look really good. Okay. First bit of highlight done on the weapon there. Just set you to the side. We have 5 more of these. It's funny, I assembled the disintegrators to also magnetize, though, paint and magnetize them. I doubt I'll ever use them. The disintegrators are just so punishing to your own minis. I don't think it's really worth it. I do that with my my Dreadnought has them, and that's what I've been using is double disintegrators on my Dreadnought, and it's been pretty miserable the 2 times I've tried it. He's blown himself up both times. too with that base color. Talking about Skitaria, great. Marshall has so many options. Does he? That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. I think, as far as I know, there's one guy in our regular group that bought that set, and I'm not quite sure what he's got together or what he's bringing to our event on Sunday. But hopefully he's got some cool stuff. Right, what's that, number 3? Okay, let's keep going. I think the white and gold are probably going to be the parts that take us the longest. I don't know about the gold. Maybe just the white and red. Then we got lots of like little effects and things to do, so... Maybe it is just this white color that's our time-consuming piece, so getting that done first is make everything feel a little better. See something on here. I can get this little piece right here. There we go. Got it on the others. All right. Marshall is like below nearly as tall as a Mark II. I've seen comparison pictures. I haven't seen specifically the Marshall compared to the Space Marines, but I saw the Skitarii and how they're close to twice the height of a Space Marine. I think that's really cool. Okay. Last one here. Listen to stream while cooking. Nice, Cody. All right, what you cooking? Okay, we got all that color white done, so let's go. The Innapro Pirate.
Take just a moment to
Welcome in.
for allowing me back into your home.
Welcome in. How you doing? And thank you for the follow. Yeah, I'm doing well. Doing well. I'm here painting some Saturnine Terminators and weapons. That's the plan for today. So this is our second day. Yesterday we did all the base colors. Last night on my own I put washes on them, and then this morning we started on highlights. Noodles and cheese. All right, all right. Nothing wrong with some noodles and cheese. Models are amazing. Frank converted them into his Death Guard army. Oh, cool. Alright. They're honestly probably my least favorite models out of the box set. But now that I'm painting them, I'm kind of enjoying the process. You know, digging into them more, like they grow on you. So... they're also my last minis to paint out of this box set. I've kind of had them just sitting around for a while, so I get to them. And I gave myself extra motivation because I have an event I'm going to on Sunday. It's a Zone Mortalis event, which is like indoor battles for 30k. And I brought a unit of 3 of these to give myself motivation to use them. I also think that's probably the best place to use them in game if we're talking, you know, rules and such, and usability. A lot of inscriptions on this one, so I'm trying to avoid filling in these inscriptions anymore. I probably could have done. There's 2 things you can do with these minis. I feel like either taping off the shoulder pads so you don't get so much paint on them, or painting them separate, so keeping the shoulder pads off until they're painted, because these shoulder pads don't have any red, and the red is the real thing that I need to worry about when I'm airbrushing and base coating these minis due to its complex nature, that particular color. So metallic red. Yeah, there you go, Tabard. Thank you, Tabard. Yep. So people ask me this every time I paint my Thousand Suns on stream, and instead of annoying chat by explaining it 3-4 times a day, I just have the explanation there. But those are the colors I use. It's way too time consuming and difficult, and I would recommend just finding a contrast or a speed paint to use at the end of the day, just because, like, it's too much. It's way too much. Yeah. So we are on it. The red has already had its matte varnish. That's how it's paintable. And Nuln oil was applied as a wash over the entire mini. So the last thing I have to do with the red is just some Pro Acryl white gold, and yeah, we're gonna use that as a little edge highlight. Gives it a nice, like, actual metallic look to it. If I am somehow able to finish highlights today, then I'll make it a point to get my varnish in tonight, my satin coat of varnish, and actually finish these on stream tomorrow. No guarantees with that though. His crest and then his other crest, and then move on to the third one. I think something we're going to do with the plasma, we're going to cheat a little bit. Putting Black Templar's army, going from a slightly changed look of the army. Has a Heimdall Crusade, its own Eye of Terror Lord army design. Goes away from reds, they look less like sisters. So what's the color scheme for the Heimdall Crusade? I'm not familiar with a lot of different like Black Templars color schemes. This shoulder here. For the armor, use black primer and then a dark to light silver dry brush sponge and then black speed paint over it. Character I change silver for dirty gold. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So their armor's almost like a metallic black, right?
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, thank you for the follow. Svi Wheeler? Nice, metallic black. So what kind of trim? Is that like still white trim and just no reds? Is that the difference? Or is there's something else you use? You avoid the white, you don't like it. Okay, so silver. Oh, nice. So starting with silver, and then the black speed paint just goes over the main armor, and your silver's already there. That's really clever. That's a clever way to paint up. Okay, now something I'm going to do here. We got these guns. I am going to skip this step on the guns, and then we're just gonna go right into the like the edge highlights of pure white, because those areas in those minis are so small, like you're not going to be able to tell anyway what is white and what is 50-50 white and bright neutral gray. So we have six plasma bombards for this squad of 3. That's what we're doing. We will start on these guys though. Get a couple little lines here. front and back of the white. This is our first highlight we've done, so there's still quite a bit to do. You're wrong. Love to use white a lot, but we paint over with speed paint later. Yeah. No, it's fair. I get it. White can be a difficult color to paint anyway, especially making it look good. So I completely get avoiding it, but your color scheme sounds cool anyway. And yeah, it sounds really simple, which I think is nice, especially with an army like Black Templars, where your minis are going to be rather complicated, like a lot of details on them, more so than your average Space Marine. So okay, let's get this last base of the shoulder here. Kind of go over this more like we did with the last color. It'll help these details stand out. Probably ultimately what we want. Okay. Cool. That's one mini down with white. Hey friends, paint alternative parts like heads with hoods. Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. I'm going to be painting quite a bit of plasma here. Day maybe. Using Tamiya plastic glue. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's the Tamiya stuff is way better than Games Workshop or a lot of cements out there. So that's cool. That's cool. What's up, Zen? How you doing? Sets gave me Mark 6 heads and shoulders and other parts. Yeah, sweet. The beakies look great. I didn't like the beakies at first, but I think they're cool now. Twitching and driving, yeah, nice. The usual. Yeah, the brush is where it's at for plastic cement. It's way better. I like Tamiya extra thin, but Tamiya cement, like any kind of plastic cement, is naturally like toxic and everything anyway. And I assemble way too many minis to deal with a lot of toxic stuff if I can help it. So I kind of avoid that. I stopped using the Tamiya extra thin and started using their limonene, which is, you know, maybe not non-toxic. It's kind of like a little less harsh chemicals in it. That's also hard to find if you're in the US. So I don't know if you're in the US or not, but incredibly hard to find in the US. In Europe, yeah. Okay. So yeah, the limonene stuff. That's what I would recommend. It's only slightly thicker than the Tamiya extra thin. It holds just as well because it, you know, it melts the plastic and the plastic sticks together. And yeah, it smells like oranges. We got that one. You're going there. I got the last one here. Good alternatives to Amazon. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. That's good. What Legion would you say is the least played in 30K? It's either White Scars or I don't know. There was a survey done at some point last year. I wonder if I can find that. Okay, here we go. White Scars and then maybe Space Wolves with Raven Guard down there as well. But if you're including, no, let's see, Death Guard. No, Death Guard are up there. Yeah, Death Guard are pretty popular. This is also one survey with like 1,000 respondents, so which is quite a bit, I guess. Yeah, I think White Scars aren't up there because they're expensive, because it's a lot of bikes and stuff, and there's not a lot of plastic availability of different bikes. And they're also kind of difficult to paint, being a lot of white. And then also just the fact that White Scars are always forgotten about anyway. So... like, they didn't have a Primarch Mini. They're the last Primarch by far. Like, their Primarch came out years after everybody else had one. Yeah, Death Guard are really popular. The most popular, I think, is Iron Warriors. Yeah, and Dark Angels. Iron Warriors by far, though. Like, man, people are all about Iron Warriors. There are also non-Legion armies. The least played non-Legion army, according to this survey, is Demons of the Ruinstorm. You know the Iron Hands most popular? Iron Hands are pretty middle of the road. They are tied for 11th place. Yeah, Demons of the Ruinstorm, Sisters of Silence, and it's people that proclaim they play Shattered Legions. Those are the three least played factions in 30K. That was also 2nd edition, so 3rd edition things may have changed. I think there's a lot more Mechanicum players, where Mechanicum is sitting... oh, okay, they were 3rd in that survey in 2nd edition, so you know, they might be higher, but that's a pretty fair spot for them. Imperial Fists are 6th on the list. 6th place. Eoraptor, what's going on? Least popular maybe because their scheme is bland and their lore is even more bland. Who's that? Oh, you thought Iron Hands would be the least popular. Is that what you're saying? Because I would hard agree. Iron Hands are lame. But Iron Hands have always had like good rules, so that always affects these. Because people always gravitate toward what is good. Waiting for dinner to be ready after day of hard work. Nice. Nice. They are the secret. Yeah, GW loves. Man, they love Iron Hands. Yeah, let's see. We'll say the top like 5. Top 5. Iron Warriors, then Dark Angels, Mechanicum, Alpha Legion, and then Sons of Horus. Those are the top 5 factions in 30K, according to a survey taken last summer before 3rd edition came out. And it's Iron Hands like by a mile. Like Iron Warriors by a mile have way more players than anybody else, than any, not quite any 2 factions, but almost twice as much as 2nd place. Hazard Stripes, yeah. Have any jump pack Marines in your Thousand Suns? I do. I do have a squad of Assault Marines in my Thousand Suns, yeah. I have 10 of them that have glued jump packs, and I have 10 more that have magnetized backpacks. So I can make them despoilers or Assault Marines on a whim. Yeah, if someone had to ask me what the most popular faction was, I think it would be... Like, I don't think I would have any trouble believing that it's Iron Warriors. Valentine's Day mailbox in the shape of a Mark II Clone Trooper helmet. Yes, yeah, Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet. Yep. Using some Mark 6 jump packs in my 40k Templars. Oh, cool. Alright. The Mark 6 jump packs are really cool looking. I don't own the plastic squad, so mine are printed, but the plastic squad is really cool looking. Put it in white? Can you paint the... Yeah, I can paint it. Yeah. My son's got to have the extra over-the-top Valentine box. That's how we got to roll. Started shortly. You want it to be kid-size helmet with the slot cut? Yeah, that works. February 14th. Oh my gosh. My wife and I, we upset our son the other day because he was talking about, getting ready for Valentine's Day and everything, and he asked why my wife and I don't buy each other gifts for Valentine's Day. Like, we don't buy each other a lot of gifts anyway. But we told him, like, we don't really care for Valentine's Day like that. It's not something we really like celebrate. I told him, I was like, I love your mom every day, so I don't need to buy her things one specific day of the year. And he was going on about Valentine's Day, and I was like, well, it's kind of just, it's a holiday to sell you things. Like, it's not like it's a, there's not much more meaning to it besides, like, buy these things for your significant other. And he was like getting visibly upset at that, thinking like Valentine's Day is like this really special holiday, and it's just it's just corporatism, right? Have for on Friday, busy most of the day, but we can grab lunch. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, that sounds great, Zen. And that would be perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thousand Suns able to use discs instead of bikes for the sake of being mounted. There's no rules for Thousand Suns on discs in 30k. I hope that whenever they start doing Legion specific units and stuff, that they put out rules for Thousand Suns on discs. That'd be really cool. But I'm not holding out hope, like real hope for that, because it seems like a bit of a stretch. Get less and less time to spend with your loved ones due to work, kids, and so on. Yeah, of course, of course. And that's fine. Like everybody's different with how they, how their relationships work and everything. That's just how myself and my wife treat holidays like this. So just because I have opinions doesn't mean your opinions are wrong. Like, it's nice to be able to set aside a day and spend time with someone. That's totally cool. Sitting their discs of Zinch. Thousand Suns do have discs in the Heresy. They probably are still discs of Zinch, but the artwork that shows them, they're not like super corrupted or anything. Business side of days like this suck, yeah. Alright, I gotta talk about a movie with you guys. Okay, this movie took me 4 tries to finish, but I finished it. Alright, and I have very strong opinions about this movie. So I watched The Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage. Alright, the one that came out like last year or something. It was on like Hulu, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. I remember seeing a trailer for it and it looks ridiculous. So I was watching it. And I kid you not, it took me 4 tries to finish this movie. Like at one point I got to like it was like going into like the big climactic battle or whatever at the bad guy's mansion, and I just turned it off. I was like, this is so boring. Like, what? Like, who made this movie? It's absurd. Well, I had a thought about I was actually texting Zendro about this, and I had this thought, and it clicked with me. I was like, I get the target audience for this movie. Toxic Avenger is a superhero movie for juggalos. %100%. Like, there's even like a weird like knockoff juggalo band, and I feel like the humor is really meta because the whole movie they're talking about like how big and how popular this band is, and they're like killers for hire, and so they're like hitmen, but then they're also a band, and then they're like on the job like killing somebody, but like, man, we gotta get back and rehearse like the festivals tomorrow and everything, and we got our show tomorrow. And then their show starts, and like you go to the festival the next day, and it's like a family festival, and there's like 20 people watching them. And that's it. And they're all just like dressed like ICP or whatever. And Toxic Avengers is a remake of an older film series. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. But that movie, I've never seen the old one. I've only seen the one that came out last year. I just finished it the other day. And that is hands down a superhero movie for juggalos. Like, I can see juggalos like just being like, man, this is the sickest movie. I mean, I live in Ohio. I've met my fair share of juggalos. Man, that movie was bad. It was so bad. Like the mariachi. I don't not familiar. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Newer edition of an older version King's. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Is that what you're talking about, Troy? You have the NES game Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Oh, okay, okay. Question for you. Any movies released in 2025, 2026 you could recommend? I don't know. I can't think of a movie. Yeah, okay. I've heard Predator Badlands was good. That's one that I still want to watch. I don't think I saw a new movie in theaters in 2025. I can't think of anything. Oh, Superman. The new Superman was really good. And yeah, I'm not normally a big fan of Superman. I really liked that Superman movie. Wonder Man's quite possibly the best show they've made. Dang. All right. What else? I watched. I did see Fantastic Four, and it was kind of mediocre. I do remember. What's his name? Galacta? No, what? Galaga? What was his name? Dang it, I can't remember his name. When he just he looked at Sue, and she just went into labor. It was pretty crazy. Watch the 3 Iron Man movies, understand the small background. Galactus, that's what it was, not Galaga. Galaga'd be a fun name, but Andor's incredible. Andor, that was last year, right? Was that 2025's TV show? If we're talking TV shows, I've seen a couple good TV shows last year, but Andor is probably, well, I would say easily the best TV show I saw, best TV show of 2025. Ronin. Why am I not familiar with that? Shogun? You mean Shogun was 2025? Was that 2025? Shogun was really good. Alien Earth was also really good. I really liked Alien Earth. And it was 2024. No, I think it was 2025. Maybe it was 2024. I don't know. Either way, that's a show to watch if you haven't seen it. My highlights on these are taking a little bit, but it's okay. We can take our time. Good chance I'll do some painting tonight during our Patreon hangout. done. Rogue One, 2016 and or okay. So it was 2025 then. Last two. Time to get to work in Blender. Nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Again. I was thinking he's in 3rd grade. He's probably... I don't know if they're going to keep doing... Like, I don't know how much longer they do, like, Valentine's stuff. Like, do they do that in 4th grade? 4th grade might be his last year to do it. So we'll get him a nice, cool Valentine box to keep, and then he can have that for the next few years. You can actually wear... Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Break that thing so fast. Oh, another 2025 movie we watched was the new Captain America. Is it Brave New World? Is that the one with Falcon? With he's not he's Captain America now, but it was pretty boring, honestly. Like, also, it took me like half the movie to figure out that President Ross was the General Ross, aka Secretary Ross, like that guy, because they recast him for some reason. Because he speaks more than 10 lines in the movie or something. I don't know. I don't know why they recast him. Did the actor die? What happened? It was just weird. It was weird his recast. I didn't catch it for a long time. And then I was just like, did the actor die? Really? I gotta look it up real quick. Yeah, he did die. He died in 2022. Okay. Oh, that's too bad. Alright. What's up with Hulk movies and, like, they're just always recasting people? I mean, that one obviously is a death, so that's a whole thing, but it's the third time they've had a Thaddeus Ross character. What do word bears worship all chaos gods except just Zinch? I don't know. You have to ask Erebus. Slot toward the back of them. Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll finish the Marshall sent in Discord. Oh, cool. All right. Very cool. Looking forward to see it in Butterscorch. As wide as a not a standard envelope, no. Maybe a little like thicker though. Because, you know, like kids giving candy and stuff, so. Thousand Sons worship their god, the least of all of their legions. No, I think like Night Lords probably. I don't think they particularly care. Not that they necessarily have like a dedicated god, but bye, Butterscorch. Have a good one. I'd say Thousand Sons worships each quite a bit because you get a lot of power from doing that. And they do love power. Alright. Cool, we got that. Next color. Or rather, do we get some eyeballs? Let's continue on with this white. There's a little bit more white we gotta do here. And then the other part of the whites back to these plasma guns here, but we're going to take this pure white and we're going to start hitting these the actual coils here. Of the main four, yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Death Guard are pretty serious about Nurgle. World Eaters are pretty serious about Khorne, so I guess it definitely would be between Thousand Sons and Emperor's Children. Okay. Might need 2 coats. I got a brand new spool of white film. Oh, sweet. All right. I think painting some wanted to paint some like designs on it too, so maybe what we do is I go get some colored Sharpies or something. Like paint the visor black, but any designs he wants we can just get some colors of permanent marker and put it on there. That way I don't have to prime everything and make it a whole deal. Emperor's children most corrupt and loyal to their god? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I always have like Death Card, like the most serious about worshipping Nurgle, or I guess like Khorne, because Khorne also seem, you know, like their whole chant, blood for the blood god, seems kind of very directed toward Khorne. Soon, 1 day, 6 hours to, that's crazy. Cool. Well, may it all be successful and no issues. Tree supports. Okay, printing in three parts. I think I need a second coat of this color. It dulls down quite a bit when it dries, so yeah. I'm gonna do blue for the plasma glow. That's my typical like plasma colors, so I'm gonna stick with it. I actually have quite a few plasma in this list. Should be good. Really gonna try to lean into Thousand Sun shooting, but I did bring some Kinatai blades, which are like my elite sword dudes. I've heard and I suspect that those are really good in Zone Mortalis, so I figured I'd try them. Is plasma good in 3rd edition? No, not really. It's really good for my legion, for very specific purposes. But then otherwise, it's very mediocre. Hey, John Lockridge, what's going on? Yeah, Thousand Suns have a specific psychic power that boosts weapons that have the breaching rule, so plasma and like autocannons and stuff, breaches them like into the stratosphere with their like damage potential. But otherwise, like plasma was nerfed pretty big. Or pretty heavily rather. There are 4 inches of snow down there? Dang, that's crazy. It's been warming up here. I think it got into the 30s today. More on Friday. That's absurd. Your son is at school in 8 days. Are you going crazy? Because I feel like I would go crazy. Your son's going to be in school into July at this point. You've gone mad, yeah. Horse Heresy parts to make models for 40k. I've never played it. What's the difference between 30k and 40k? 40k is very much designed around like the competitive play side of like the hobby. So there's lots of like very simplified rules. I wouldn't say they're streamlined because I don't think 40k is very streamlined with how it is, but it's very much like, oh yeah, you score these points and you trade these pieces to do this thing, and there's actions that you do on here, and it's very, and it's a lot of like dice manipulation with rerolls and things like that. 30k is very much like old school Warhammer. That's meant to be played like as a kind of a narrative game, and the actual differences in the rules are pretty significant. So like you're gonna understand like what is weapon skill, what is ballistic skill, but those numbers, like while weapon skill is like how you hit in melee, it's not just a flat number. There's a wound chart like to wound things that compare strength and toughness. It's not just like the You know, if you're higher, if you're double, if you're lower, if you're double, you know, the toughness is double or whatever. Vehicles don't have toughness values. Vehicles have a thing called armor value. So vehicles by their very nature are impervious to small arms fire. So you need like big anti-tank weapons, and yeah, vehicles actually play very, very differently than normal models. So like armor values start at 10, which is basically like toughness 10, and go up to like 14. I don't think there's any 15 in the game, but they go up from there. And there's specific ways to put damage on vehicles. Leadership is very important, to the point where models have 4 leadership stats to represent different things. So there's leadership, cool, willpower, and intelligence that all interact differently in the game. And there's lots of ways to inflict like leadership debuffs on units. So that's a big part of the game. What else? I guess there's limits to what you can take. You don't just like grab everything you want and put it on the table, you know, with like the 3 thing limit. You have to have characters that unlock detachments, and detachments have specific themes. And then you build your list around that. There's no rerolls. There is not a single reroll in the Horus Heresy 3.0. It doesn't exist. Which is incredible. It definitely puts out the feeling, and Zen, I don't know if you feel like this, if you felt like this playing our game the other week, but when you're playing 30k and there's no rerolls, what it feels like is that there is a battle happening, and you are, you know, you're playing through the battle and stuff, but like there's a story that's being told, and what the dice say is what the dice say. So it's not like, you know, you're not sitting there manipulating dice and, you know, oh, I just need one more chance to do this one thing and I'll be good. Like, no, that it just, you just roll the dice and you accept what they are, and that's all it is. Hey, thank you. And where am I looking? Well, what am I looking for? What's up, Shiny New Paints? Is that you redeeming your the look at me? Happy to go look at some stuff. And finished? Okay. Okay, cool. Quick dry brush on that. In between stuff. 1245. Alright. That white did take us a while. Let's go look at finished projects from Shiny Mew Paints. Yes, nice. Alright. Ooh, I like that metallic green on the... Is that like a hammer right there? That crazy, like, metallic green. That's wild. Very cool, guys. Go check out Shiny New Paints Mini that they posted. Very good. Very good. Phaedros, what's going on? Minor touch-ups, and she's done. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so next, do I just do the red? I'll just highlight the red, guys. I'll show you here. I have white gold. Text to speech is repeat. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, I really enjoy playing 30k. The crowd is much more laid back. People have big emphasis on like hobby and like taking like cool things over just what's good. The game isn't as balanced as 40k. Like 40k and Age of Sigmar are like a big focus of those games as like the balance for the tournament scene, and like Heresy they don't care about that. 3rd edition is the most balanced edition they've made, but that's not saying much for, you know, what we've had the past 2 editions of it. So yeah, lots of rule of cool that goes on in Heresy. Still wargaming on a wargaming sabbatical, but you played a little co-op kill team the other day. Nice. Okay. Okay. Sounds like fun. One observation I see about people kind of on the outside, like looking into 30K, is it's the idea that, well, 40K has plenty of Space Marines. I don't want to play a game that's all Space Marines. And like, while I understand the sentiment, I also think that there's so much variety in the armies and so many units you can take that I have never had a game where I was like, oh man, I'm playing Space Marines again. Like, it has never felt like that. But then also, like, the other factions that are in the game, there's like 7 or 8 other factions in the game. And they're all very cool, and people are still happy to play against them. And since, things are starting to get a lot more plastic support, I'm sure you'd see them a lot more. Like the Solar Ox and Mechanicum, and Demons are a faction, Militia's a faction that's basically just Demons and Guard are basically just pick what models you want, like whatever model line you want, and put them in the game. So it's pretty crazy they would do something like that with a game of theirs. He goes, Halo Flashpoint. Oh, cool. Alright, yeah. Guys, my friend's not the fastest player. Oh, yeah. I understand. I occasionally play with people like that take forever to make their move or whatever, and it's painful. It's painful. You were running out of spoons? Is that like a euphemism for something? Spoon theory? Oh, okay. Energy motivation. Okay, I've never heard of that. Oh, interesting. I might have to read on that. Sounds kind of interesting. Never had to ask about the mutilators. They look okay. Very mediocre looking, in my opinion, the new mutilators. Not crazy about him. You like him a lot. That's cool. Pyre, you don't like him? Yeah. I never liked mutilators a whole lot anyway, so I'm sure that's coloring my perception a little bit, but yeah. This is tickets. We have tickets, the Horus Heresy, but none for 40k. Okay, interesting. I may have heard the ticket thing before. Shoulders start to come together. Yeah, they're looking good. I am happy with them. The old mutilators were horrid. Those were awful minis. So these are definitely a step up from that. I don't know, just didn't strike me as much. That arm, let's get the other arm, and then we have the whole front of the torso. Nice dark mechanic. Yeah, I think Dark Mechanicum will come for 30k. Soon. Part of the reason I think 3rd edition wasn't necessarily planned to come out when it did is because Games Workshop had a roadmap. They put a roadmap out and they talked about 2025 having a new faction for Horus Heresy. And so everybody assumed it was just Dark Mechanicum coming because that's the faction. And maybe it would have been like Skitarii or something now at this point, but they had announced they had the Dark Mechanica minis for Imperialis, and they got all that stuff, and like that is a perfect faction to put into 30k. Then 3rd edition came out, and it's kind of definitely taken a back seat. Yeah, 30k has Mechanicum, and Mechanicum is used for, you can have Loyalist or Traitor Mechanicum, but there is a specific Dark Mechanicum element that uses like tech that the Emperor forbid and everything, so like, yeah, that's when you start getting into like crazy chaos or like AI controlled machines and stuff like that. That's all like tech heresy. Like if you look at Legions Imperialis, they have the walkers, the crazy like spider walker things. Those are Dark Mechanicum. Ability rules of some sort, in addition to Deep Strike, they're going to be very good. Not going to be very good otherwise, yeah. Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe they'll be slow, but they'll just, they'll have 1,000 wounds and hit like a ton of bricks. And, yeah, maybe that'll be enough. I don't know. End of the edition minis, they tend to be pretty good. This red is taking a bit longer than I thought it would. But it's alright. Okay, so we got the red on one of these. They have the uppy downy to be nice, yeah. Cool, and we compare these two minis. See where it actually looks a lot more metallic. Just don't care if they have 4-inch move. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right place? Oh, dang. Am I back in? Stream cut out there for a second. What was all that about? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Late? Gotta work at a later start. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Not missing much. I'm just here painting. I don't think it was your Twitch. It was, I think my stream cut out real quick. Which has not happened in a while, so make me all nervous. Yeah, let's hope this isn't a regular thing. Needs to kick the grots that crash the stream. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Come on, Zen. Do something. Terms looking gorgeous. Thank you, Blue. How are you doing today? Seems like it's been a crazy day. It's a bit unfortunate. Today is Wednesday. We are doing our Patreon hangout tonight, so if you guys are a member of the Patreon, any paid amount, come chill with us tonight. We just hang out, we hobby, we tell stories about our week and stuff. It's nice. Got a good group. Stressed? Yeah. Just doing all this red last week. All those breachers. Build your knobbies tonight? Nice. Nice. Are you just using that image as a guide? It was just a head swap. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I remember it had like a lot of the Skaven pieces, but yeah. All right, in a Pro Pirate, welcome, or I guess thanks for coming to hang out, and yeah, have a good day, and hopefully see you again soon. I'll be back on tomorrow about 11 a.m. Eastern. Probably finishing up these minis tomorrow. I think that'll be the goal. Do these 3 at a time was a great decision. Probably going to keep saying that. I do still have the Saturnine Praetor to paint as well, but I figured I'd do him after finishing all these minis. Mr. Stompy the Saturnite. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, legs back, so let's get arms and then front of torso. Yeah, that Praetor is a big mini. Very big mini. I think there are some cases where that Saturnine Praetor can take out a Primarch in a duel. Especially Lorgar, but I've heard stories about like Korax and stuff like not able to kill the Praetor. It's pretty wild. Alright, have a good one, Zen. Alright. Good luck, dude. I'm sure we'll chat tonight, hopefully. Arms done. Just the front of the body. Right. Is that it for this guy? I think it might be it for this guy. Let's get number 3 here. We'll be done with this color. Not with the minis. We have silvers, grays, blacks, and golds to do. And yeah. We'll see. Maybe not do the gold today. That'll probably be my longest one, and I don't know if I quite have the time to do that. We have the bronze. We gotta do bronze today too, because I have bronze on these minis. So what else you guys got going on this week? Anything fun? Anybody got some good games lined up for the weekend? I know the Super Bowl is on Sunday, but I have zero desire. I haven't watched Super Bowl in forever. I don't watch football anyway, so I'm gonna go play mini games that day. You'll be in Outlands. What is Outlands? Also, what's up, Ghost Hawks? Blast arriving sometime this week. See you next week. You're ready for escalation. Okay, cool. WoW Burning Crusade Classic returns tomorrow. What do you mean it returns? Like, is it being released tomorrow? I thought they already had Burning Crusade out. That's the Outlands. Okay. I played WoW during Burning Crusade and is it Wrath of the Lich King? Is that what it was called? Wrath of the Witch King. But I should be back. Which hates me, guys. First use of classic game is in Pandaria. They have 20th anniversary classic servers. Just follow the same path. Okay, so they're kind of just doing like waves, so you can keep playing your characters through the progression again. Okay. Well, that's really cool, though. Is WoW Classic like the way to play? Is it still a ton of people playing like current WoW? Most players stop after Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, that's actually when I stopped playing WoW in general, was during that. Yeah, I spent way too many hours in that game. As the experience continues on. Okay, that's cool. Retail version has housing now, so collecting decor to build a custom place is fun and addicting. Dang. That's crazy. No football for you either, yeah. My first raid, like actual raid experience in WoW, is like a core memory for me. Like it was what, Karazhan, whatever, however you pronounce it. But doing the quest chain to get the key and like doing all the things that lead up to it and then going into it, like that whole experience was just wild. Downloading Ventrilo to chat with people as complete strangers, and I was like a 17-year-old talking with strangers on the internet one random weeknight. Yeah, yeah. Get those wings a little bit. We're gonna paint over that. Regular server, 2 PvP servers, so it's very popular. Oh, that's cool. All right. That's it for the red on these guys. Yeah, we got our red metallics. They're coming together. Did white and red. We did highlights on here, so we'll do plasma glow tomorrow. I can do a couple really minor things. And then tomorrow is about getting last couple colors highlighted in these last few things. Okay, a couple shell casings, a little bit of brown wash on those when it's time, but the topper will be done. I'll have to get around the sides, put some black paint around the sides, and then we just varnish it, and then that's ready to glue. I already have the other two bases ready. That's all they are, so just these 50 mil bases. And the Terminators themselves have specific bases that they belong to, so, and I recorded that ahead of time so I know which Terminator goes where, because that can be confusing, and I should have done that as I assembled them, but okay. So I have some dark neutral gray, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight just a little bit over the black on the actual like black parts here. A little line across the top, and then also leg pieces here. Okay. And that's it. These crests will need a little work, but it's mainly just stuff I'm going to do with the gold. That'll be the process of touching it all up.